We begin with developing news. Police say a number of people have been killed and multiple others injured after a driver drove into a crowd at a Filipino street festival in Vancouver tonight.
A mass casualty event at a Vancouver festival. Witnesses describe an SUV plowing through a crowd at the Lapu Lapu Day block party, a celebration for the Filipino community. It happened just a couple of hours ago.
This is the scene earlier tonight at the Lapu Lapu Day block party near East 41st Avenue and Fraser Street. In the video, we can see dozens of people on the ground, emergency responders, including paramedics and police, running towards those people. Police say the driver is in custody and will provide more information as the investigation unfolds.
While I'm not prepared to speak about the potential motive, I can now say with confidence that the evidence in this case does not lead us to believe this was an act of terrorism. I can also tell you that the person we have in custody does have a significant history of interactions with police and healthcare professionals related to mental health.
This is Dan Dicks here reporting for Press for Truth. The Vancouver police are calling it the darkest day in the city's history, as 11 people are now confirmed dead with dozens more injured after a man drove his SUV into a crowd of people at a Vancouver Filipino Lapu Lapu festival. This incident was horrific, and I want to extend my condolences to the victims' family members who should not be dealing with this grief today. Why? Because today we're going to take a look at all the reasons why this happened the way it did, and also why it could have been prevented. So let's jump right into it. The festival's main act had just concluded, and crews were in the process of taking down the stage and tents and vendor stalls. But according to the CBC, these crews lifted a barricade that had been blocking traffic to allow a vehicle to enter. While some cars were being guided carefully through the crowds, Pangilinan said one car suddenly plowed through the street at high speed. The Vancouver police ruled out this as being an act of terrorism while they were in the middle of conducting the investigation. Why did they figure that out so quick? Well, folks, as you heard in the intro of this video, the police have said they have had significant interactions with him, as did healthcare professionals due to his mental health issues, and some of these being recent. Sources have told Post Media that a family member contacted a hospital psych ward just hours before the attack because of his deteriorating mental health. It's not known what action was taken, if any, but it is believed that he was suffering from paranoia and delusions. Footage has emerged of the 30-year-old suspect looking dazed and confused, and one clip even shows him saying sorry to people who are yelling at him.
Smile! Smile, you fuck! I'm sorry. Smile! Won't you fucking say what the fuck? Sorry!
So what was going on with this guy's life that could possibly cause something like this to happen? Well, first of all, his father died shortly after the family moved into their Vancouver home. Then, just last year, in January of 2024, the suspect's brother was murdered. And then just a few months after that, his mother attempted to commit suicide because of the grief that she just couldn't bear surrounding the murder. He set up a GoFundMe page saying, "It pains me deeply to put these words down, but my brother has been taken from us in a senseless act of violence, something we never saw coming. Our reality has abruptly shifted. Despite our disagreements, the harsh truth that he's no longer with us hits me with an overwhelming force," Adam Lowe said. Then just a couple months later, he again asked for donations after his mother attempted suicide and ended up in a hospital for a month. "The unimaginable grief brought upon my mother is something that is worse than my own sadness, for she brought him into this world only for him to leave abruptly. It is a sadness I cannot begin to express," he said. "She lost a son already and is on the verge of losing her home. This has driven her to attempt to take her own life." Since then, this man has had dozens of interactions with the police relating to his mental health. So it's beyond obvious that this is a public health issue that has all the hallmarks of a drug-induced homicide. I believe that every mass killing should require a coroner's investigation into what types of drugs were involved. Why? Because time and time again, we find out that these mass killers are on SSRI drugs and all kinds of antidepressants. Here's just a few notable cases of what I'm talking about. Eric Harris, who killed 13 people at the Columbine High School shooting in 1999, was prescribed Zoloft initially. He then switched to Luvox, which is found in his system during an autopsy. And then there was James Holmes, the Aurora Theater shooter who killed 12 people. He was taking Zoloft at the time of the shooting. Then there was Jeff Weiss, the Red Lake shooter who killed 9 people. He was prescribed on Prozac. And then there was Cho Seung-hoi, the Virginia Tech shooter who killed 32 people. He was diagnosed with a severe anxiety disorder, as well as major depressive disorder. And after his diagnosis, he too began receiving treatment. So I think the people of Vancouver, and the grieving family members especially, should have a right to know what types of drugs were in this guy's system. Because how many more of these events are going to happen until we get to the root cause of the problem, which is how to properly deal with the problem of mental health issues outside of Big Pharma. But how much you want to bet none of that is even going to be considered? And instead, what we're going to see is more security cameras going up, more cops patrolling the streets, and probably more drugs that will make its way into the psyche of the next mass killer. So let me know what you guys think. Is it finally time that every mass killer should have a coroner's investigation into the types of drugs that are in their system, followed by a public report? I certainly think so, guys. And hopefully that's what's going to happen here in Vancouver, BC. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I want to take 1 minute to remind you that I plan on covering the 2025 Bilderberg meeting in Stockholm, Sweden this June, and I really need your support to help me make that happen. So far, 10 people have contributed, and that's awesome. Thank you so much for that. But I'm hoping we can double that over the next few days. So if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this type of information, please consider making a donation to help with my efforts to expose the Bilderberg 2025 meeting. And that's all for today, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please click that thumbs up button, share this video, and stay tuned, guys. We're going to have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dicks reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.